What happened to me was I was a serving member of the Royal Australian Navy, and one of the sailors off the ship I went to, which was HMAS Kalgoa, said, "Hey, we're going to Korea." And I said, "Who?" He said, "You." I said, "When?" He said, "When you come back on Monday." We went there for about 12 months up till the ceasefire, backwards and forwards all the time. I was in my 20s, yeah. My service rank at the time was leading seaman, underwater weapons. There was a depot called HMAS Rushcutter. I did most of my training at Rushcutter, and then later on I became instructor. I ended up to be a warrant officer class 2. I went up through the ranks, and I'm very happy I achieved that, just carrying out my duties as well as I could. I served on HMAS Kalgoa in Korea, around the Korean coast. My action station was on the depth charges, or the head-thrown weapon. If the boys in the ASDIC compartment, if they got an echo, I would close up with my depth charges, which you'd drop them over the side when they tell you what depth to put on them. We were more or less listening for submarines, because they thought the Chinese would bring submarines down there to kill off all the shipping, but they never suspected any. They never got contact with any. We slept in hammocks. There was no bunks or anything on board. You only had a very, very small amount of space for your dress or anything like that. We all got to know one another, and some of them played cards at night when they weren't doing on watch at all. Don't forget, when we were on patrol, we were on 24 hour. Not only did we go there, but the Canadians, the New Zealanders, everybody backed up and went there and helped South Korea, which didn't have much of a navy. That's why mostly navy came from other countries. All the soldiers fought that war, mainly. We backed them up with salvos of heavy armour. The Navy, I'm talking about the Navy as a whole, sent up as many ships as they could. They always have some of our ships up there. Well, it was a thrill, because there we were, a lot of them boys, their first time being in a war, and they thought it was good because they were helping out another country, and they were quite willing to put themselves on the line to help South Korea. The South Korean people did not want to be ruled by the communists, and they have made giant steps forward. They're a very industrial country. It's successful in as much as they are now, have been free for all this time since that war. There was some people went ashore, but I don't think many of the crew got ashore. Probably to go to the Yanks, to a military place or something. While you weren't on patrol on the seas around South Korea, you went to Japan, and they could call you back straight away if the thing got worse. A lot of the ships that went up there were all river-class frigates, and there was a carrier went there, and it was the Sydney. Well, it's not ended. Everyone says the end of the war. There is no end. It's only a ceasefire. They have been threatening the South for many years, and I hope to hell they stay up there and look after yourselves. I'm one of thousands that went there to help the Korean people because they appreciated it. So that was our part we played, and I'm proud of it. That's what we had to do. We were awarded a medal by the President of Korea, and we wanted to wear it to recognise our service. But everyone that went there got that medal.